If you're in need of finding your inner strength, this theme is all about Hindu goddess Durga. We're going to talk about her, what she represents, and how you can tap into her energy. Come on, meet me on the mat. Welcome to Gentle Restorative. My name is Sandra. Take a comfortable seat, close your eyes. And I really want you to try to take your focus to that inner strength inside. And it's okay if that makes no sense right now. Start to deepen the breath. You know that analogy of like a mother who is very protective over her kid, or something's about to happen and she jumps into action. So it's this analogy of a mother bear. That's kind of the energy we're going to talk about and work with on the mat this morning. We're talking about a Hindu goddess called Durga. And Durga in Sanskrit means unpassable, or like a fortress. She has that mother energy of protecting all from evil. She's a very strong, powerful, feminine character. And so we're going to learn a little bit about her. And I want you to find that within as well. So give me a powerful inhale. Cleansing exhale. And then take the arms all the way up. The palms will find each other. You're going to exhale them home to your heart in Anjali Mudra, which is prayer pose. And then pause here to set a powerful intention for your practice. When you're ready, go ahead and release the hands. Inhale, both arms up, bring the palms together. Slight bend to the elbows. Let's take a side bend to the right. So Durga could also be referenced as Shakti or Devi. She has, like most Hindu gods and goddesses, she has a lot of avatars, and she herself can manifest into 9 different, I'll say personalities, it's not exactly the right word, but she is the protective mother of the universe. She defends all that is good. Go ahead, come back to center. Exhale to the other side. You can picture her, as we've talked about before, the Hindu gods and goddesses all have a mode of transport. So hers is either a tiger or a lion. So now you can already start to associate her with this kind of a ferociousness, but meant in a calm, loving way, if that makes sense. She's not ferocious because she's evil. She's ferocious because she desperately wants to eliminate evil and make your life harmonious, if that makes sense. Go ahead, come back up to center. Release the arms. Just close your eyes for a moment, finding that breath. And then taking your focus with your eyes closed to your third eye, which is that energy center between the eyebrows. So lifting your gaze to that space, even though your eyes are closed. So with Durga, she has 3 eyes. Her third eye is represented by fire. Fire element. Now, the fire element itself is technically associated with the solar plexus chakra, right? Not the third eye chakra. So solar plexus is just above the navel, and it's that energy center of self-esteem, control, right? And so I want you, as you have your gaze lifted to the third eye, I also want you to be in touch with the solar plexus, the space between the navel and the heart. And this is a powerful combination because how many of us are challenged with issues of self-esteem and wanting to have control, as well as then combining it with the energy of the third eye, which is about intuition, meditations. To me, it's like soul seeking, finding those answers you need. So it's a very strong combination. And then you have that fire element to top it off. So let's find a little bit of fire element in the physical body. So with a mudra. So go ahead and inhale the arms up. Bring the palms together. Release them to your heart. And we take the hands to Agni Mudra. So fingers interlace except for the 2 index fingers. And just let the hands rest at the heart space. Close your eyes. Now, if you really want to add another heat element, switch to your Ujjayi breath, which is used to create some warmth and heat within the body, right? And so those of you who already know your Ujjayi breath, jump on in. Those of you who are like, what in the world is she talking about? Easiest way to do this would be take the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, keep your lips closed. You're still inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but on the exhale, you're saying, with the lips closed. If I did that, you probably wouldn't hear me, right? So it's this constriction in the back of the throat, and it's going to generate that warmth. You should be able to hear that breath. Sometimes it's referred to as ocean breath or a Darth Vader type of breath. And then, of course, once you get the hang of that, you don't have to keep the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Give me a couple more breaths. When you're ready, you'll release your hands. Draw the shoulders up. Hold right there. You might want to just kind of rotate the head, massaging out the neck with the shoulders. When you get to an exhale, take the shoulders backing down. Perfect. All right, let's come on over into table. So you have this visual, right, of Durga, this very strong feminine mother energy on top of, sometimes it's a lion, sometimes it's a tiger. She rides that transport to diminish evil, empower creation. She's associated with protection, strength, war, peace, prosperity. So very strong goddess. Let's find our cat-cow right here. And so I wonder if perhaps that you, I don't know, may not be feeling so strong inside. If you could try to muster up some of this Durga energy and own it for yourself. Next time you're in cat, let's hold it right there. Since Durga rides a lion or tiger associated with the cat family, let's just breathe into this pose. You're inhaling strength. One more deep breath. And then go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Fabulous. So I'm going to take my knees and just take them backwards about, I don't know, 6 inches perhaps, so that I can drop the hips forward and I can be in modified plank. So I want to be a straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Hips are somewhere right in the middle. I shouldn't say somewhere, they're right in the middle. All right. So go ahead and tuck the toes. So right now from the hips down, we have 4 parts of the body touching the earth, right? We have 2 feet, 2 knees. Coming forward, we have 2 hands. We need to find 2 more elements to make 8-limb staff pose. So as I start to bend into my arms, I'm going to let my head lift, heart move forward. Get that cow-like arch in the low back, chest and chin to the ground. 8-limb staff pose. Breathe here. Let go of the breath. Give me one more inhale. As you exhale, go ahead, release that pose and take this to gecko on the left side. So feel the weight of that left hip, gently releasing towards the earth. Your focus is on the breath. So getting off topic for a moment, why are we always talking about staying present with the breath? What is the big deal with staying present? I want you to think about it this way. Everything that happens to you, that you experience, can only occur in the present. So does that mean it's not okay to think back upon memories? And the answer is, well, of course it's okay, depending on how you're using that. So if you're stuck in some type of rumination, guilt, wishing you'd done things differently, that's not helpful, not beneficial to you. If you're thinking about the past and using it as a way of moving forward, okay, you could argue that that is helping you out in the present moment, right? And then, of course, there's this question of, well, if we're supposed to stay only in the present moment, how do we plan ahead for our future self? Well, no, you can do that, but the planning ahead's done in the present, isn't it? So we can look ahead to see perhaps what our goals might be, but to embrace that, we still have to stay present. All right, keep breathing. I'll stop talking while you're in gecko and let you have a little bit of peace. All right, give me a deep inhale. As you exhale, go ahead and stretch out that left leg on the mat. And then the left hand is going to reach back, draw the left foot in towards you. Let's try to get the hand right on top of the foot, so the elbow's facing straight up to the ceiling. Gently draw the heel in towards you. If you can't reach your foot, we don't care, right? It's okay. You're reaching in the direction of the foot. You are using your strap. Maybe you're grabbing on to your yoga pants. It doesn't matter. All right, give me a couple of deep breaths here. Open up that left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, slowly let go. And then let's bring both arms forward in front of us to be a pillow for the forehead. And so then with your forehead resting on your hands, easy to take your focus back to Asana, that third eye space, right? All right, when you feel ready, go ahead and take the right side of the body into gecko. Try to relax that right hip down towards the earth. This time I want you to take your focus to the heart space, because I want you to come in contact with that part of you that is strong, that feels invincible. Staying with the breath, releasing that right hip a little bit more. So Durga, when you see her visually represented, will have somewhere between 8 and 18 arms and hands. And in each of those hands, she's holding some object, which we'll talk about in a moment. But each object is very powerful. Most of them are weapons of sorts. But I want you to think about the word weapon outside of, I don't know, outside of the box. That's where I'm headed, outside of the box. So we talked about how she has 3 eyes. Her third eye is literally at her third eye, right? Associated with that fire element. But what does that third eye actually symbolize? For Durga, it symbolizes knowledge. And so for her, knowledge is a weapon of itself, right? If you have knowledge, there's no fear left to be associated with ignorance. You have that knowledge to use as your weapon. So what do her other 2 eyes represent? Well, the left eye for her represents desire, symbolized by the moon, that lunar energy. Remember, the lunar energy with the body is the left side. So do you see how the word desire connects with nurturing, self-care, right? Her right eye represents action. And in the physical body, the right side is that masculine energy of let's go, let's get this done. And so represented then by the sun. Go ahead and release that right leg. When you're ready, right hand is reaching back for the right foot. Again, let's try to get that elbow straight up towards the ceiling, if that's possible. If you can barely grab the foot, don't worry about the elbow. We're just doing the best we can with what we have going on today, right? If you have the foot, try to pull back the right shoulder. And then slowly let go. Let's bring the forehead back to rest on the hands, so thereby taking our focus to the third eye chakra again. Associating that right now with Durga and this idea of knowledge. So let's create a little mantra here. I am strong. I am powerful. I am intelligent. I am my own force. Because Durga does represent that strong self-guided force from within, right? She's not just about the external, take care of all the evil in the world so humanity can move forward. She is about that, but she's also about that inner space. All right, let's go ahead and lift the head up, get the hands back by the low ribs. Let's set up here for Cobra. So draw the shoulders down and back, shoulder blades in slightly. Let the heart move forward, and then we'll slowly lift up. So listen to your back, decide how high or low you want to stay in Cobra. You can move around if you want to. Try very hard not to lock the arms. Try as well not to bring the shoulders up towards the head. Everything is elongating, creating space. Even if this is a baby Cobra, shoulders are not hugging the neck. So give me a deep inhale. And then on your exhale, let's push backwards into child's pose, Balasana. If you want any props, grab them along the way. And then just hanging out right there, but allowing this pose to bring you back to that focus on the third eye, especially if you have your forehead on the earth or if you have it resting on a prop. So, why does Durga carry all these weapons? I think we need to start with her most famous story, what she's most known for. There is the story of this demon who's half bull, and he wants immortality from the gods. And Brahma, who's known as the creator, doesn't want to give him immortality. So he denies that. He kind of states, everybody has to die someday. So this demon thought for a moment and said, okay, if I can't have immortality, how about you make it so that I can only die at the hand of a woman? Because this demon felt pretty strongly that women were weak and that this would never happen. So Brahma grants him that. And once he has Mahishasura, this is the demon, kind of goes on a rampage, creating destruction. He captures the heavens. He's torturing innocent people. He thinks that nobody can stop him. And so the Devas are a group of the female goddesses. They get together and they create a new energy, a new power, a new warrior with their hands. And so what they created was Durga, and they gave her, a copy of all of their weapons. She's gifted the lion or the tiger, if you will, as her mount. And Durga is actually able to kill this demon as he's transforming toward that bull. So I knew I was saying that wrong. As soon as I said bull, I'm like, it's not a bull, it's a buffalo. Sorry, buffalo. Anyway, so she represents this strength, this female Shakti power. And what she's holding in her hands, one item is the conch. Now, you might be familiar with that. The conch is one of the symbols that you'll often see on the tingsha bells. For Buddha, the conch represents getting his message out. For Durga, it's about representing this connection of divinity through sound. So you could say that the conch represents Om, the sound of Om, which is, of course, all the sounds in the universe. She also holds a bow and arrow in one hand, and that symbolizes that she has control over both potential and kinetic energy. She has a thunderbolt which is a symbol of strength of one's convictions. Give me a deep breath where you're at. Big exhale. She's holding a lotus. Now, a lotus is often, almost always, associated with a deity of in some way. The lotus she's holding is not in full bloom. It represents success, but not finality. So you're on the way towards something, right? You're on the way to achieving something. And it's a reminder, of course, how the lotus comes up through murky, muddy waters. The mud represents like material lust and greed. And so striving towards your successes. She spins around a discus, a weapon that she can throw, which represents her command, destruction of evil, righteousness. And then she carries a sword. Now, the sword itself represents, we're going to come full circle here, knowledge. How does the sword represent knowledge? Well, knowledge can have the same sharpness as a sword. So those are some of the main items that she holds. I'm going to have you take another deep breath in. Let it go. And then let's go ahead and walk the hands in towards us. Bring the knees in together. So a couple of options here. I think what we'll do first is maybe come up into table. The option I was going to give you, it seems, I don't know, maybe a little too challenging in my head now that I was going to say it out loud, but if you want to do this, you can, was to tip into the right heel and stretch the left leg out. If that doesn't work for you, we're going to get there in a different way. So you could come to table. We'll get the left leg forward and then start to bring your weight back onto the right heel. Now, what you could also do is take your block and put it under the left hip to sit on, which is so much more comfortable. It frees up space for that right knee. So if you have knee issues and you can't come back like this, that's okay. Let's find a different way to do it, either using the prop or probably not the block. That's not going to be comfy. Blanket right behind the right knee. Come slowly back. I think I would still use the block. Yeah, so create something that kind of looks like this. If this is not happening for the right leg at all, that's okay. Then let's do this. Yeah, just keep that right leg forward instead of sitting on it, or you can hang on to it. So whatever works for you, I'm all good with. And let's just sit up tall, close our eyes. Start to deepen the breath. Option A, right here, especially since I don't know how all of you have ended up. Option B, if you want to, lengthen, walk the hands forward, and then start to find a fold. If you're going to head into that fold, we haven't folded yet, so add some movement to try to loosen up that hamstring. I do not want you to hyperextend this knee. And if you're prone to that, what you might want to do if you haven't already used the blanket, is get that right underneath the knee so that it has support. All right, let's slowly find our way back up. If you took that fold, I don't want us sitting on that right foot for much longer, although the block is great in that pose, isn't it? All right, slowly make your way out. You can come back to sitting on the feet if you want to, especially if that's how you got into this pose, or come back up into table first, and then get that right leg forward. Think about what this knee needs now that we have some variations in mind. If you want that blanket, behind the left knee, go ahead and use it. And if that left foot needs to come out somewhere in front of you, do that. I like the block under the hip, and I'm going to add the blanket under the knee. I thought both of those felt really good. And then sit up tall, close your eyes. Strong breath, strong contact with that inner strength. Part of the story about Durga killing the buffalo is that as she does so, she supposedly has a very calm and peaceful face. And that is not to represent that she's okay with violence. It's to represent where that is coming from, where the need to end the evil is coming from. Does that make sense? All right, if you want to stay right here, do so. If you want to come forward into that fold, again, where you add a little bit of movement so the leg can loosen up. Nice. When you're ready, if you took that fold, walk your way back. Set the props off to your side. Let's free both legs. Send the legs out in front of you and just walk them out for a second. All right, that was a little challenging, so I think we should come on down to our backs and experience compassion. Okay, feet wide, knees together, hands resting on the abdomen. Close your eyes. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and hug the knees in. And then we'll set the feet down. Let's find our strap. If you don't have a strap, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. All right, let's get that strap around the bottom of both feet and send the legs up. So if you do not have a strap, you could use your hands behind the legs. You could also, if you were to take your blanket, I'll try to do this kind of quickly, and open it up and get it folded like a long noodle, you could use the blanket over your feet in kind of the same way. I won't spend too much time making that pretty, but I can get the blanket up on my feet and then I can hang on to the edges of the blanket as well. So get creative. All right, so I'm gonna slip my right foot out of the strap. As I do that, I'm gonna take both straps in my left hand so that my right hand is free to hug the right knee in. I'm gonna use my right knee to counterbalance. So the left leg is gonna open out to the left side, right? But if my right leg goes with me, I'm probably just gonna fall over. So I'm gonna take the right leg and start to open it out to the right to counterbalance. So find your happy place, deepen the breath. Good job. And then bring that leg back up. I'll send my right leg, my right foot back up into the strap. Pull the left foot out. Grab the straps in the right hand. Left hand will hug the left knee in. And then open out that left knee a little bit so that you can open out the left leg. Bring the right leg back up. Send that left foot back up into the strap for a moment. Just closing your eyes. So here, I'm going to get a pretty firm grip on my strap. In fact, if you want to kind of loop your hands around so you have a very good grip on your strap, you could do that. I want you to let the legs fall away from you just a few inches. Now, use the core muscles, push the low back down towards the mat. And we can play with this a little bit. You can start to drop the legs and see where you can hold them. However, the second that your low back releases from the mat and creates an arch, you've got to come back up, reflatten that and hold right there. Otherwise, we're not doing any service to the low back. You can use that strap as hard as you want to hold the legs in place, but you've got to be in control of the solar plexus and the sacral area. And then we'll bring the legs back up. I'm going to untangle my hands from the strap here. Bend the knees and just release the strap right on top of the shins and pull down. Huge inhale. Super loud exhale. And then release the legs, set the strap aside. Stretch out the legs for a moment. Close your eyes. Strong inhale. Loud exhale. All right. Let's lift the head. Get the arms underneath us, then plant the hands. We're coming up, kind of. Plant the feet. Knees are bent. I figured we've stretched out the legs. Let's give the arms a little time. So go ahead and lift up into tabletop. I want you to have the same concerns in tabletop that you did in Cobra. So do not let the shoulders rise up to hold the neck or the head. Create space, right? Heart moves forward. Lift the hips. Now, having said that, if the hips don't want to lift, it is okay. Yeah, just breathe wherever you're at. Big inhale. Exhale. Bring the hips back down for a moment. Drop the chin forward. All right, so where we're headed to work the arms for a moment is we're coming back up into tabletop and we'll bend into the arms. If tabletop is just too much, you can't get the hips to leave the ground, they have a close bond, we're okay with that, and just tip back into the arms and let the heart lead you back up, okay? So let's give that a shot. I promise something restorative afterwards. When you're ready, lengthen movement with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. A little bit of that fire element. No pain. If your shoulders don't like this, keep the hips on the ground. One more. I just wanted the arms a chance to get tired out to match the legs. Roll onto your back, hug the legs in, Apanasana. Close your eyes, just feel the sensation leaving the arms. And then set the feet back down on the mat. Let's grab, I was going to say 2 blocks. If you have 2 blocks, grab them. 2 props would be sufficient if you do not have blocks or you only have 1 of them. So what I want to do is I want to put 1 prop on my left side. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my left knee over to rest on that prop. Second prop going on top of the left knee, and I'm going to bring the right leg over. Now, keep that right shoulder down on the ground. In fact, to do so, let's interlace the fingers behind the head and just hang out right here as though we're lying in the warm grass. The sun is shining on our face. There's a fabulous breeze. And you're peaceful. So if in any way the legs feel like they're working to hold themselves in place, just do some maneuvering. Completely relax the legs. They should be able to stay there without you holding them. We are breathing in peace. Breathing in strength. Breathing in some of that Durga energy. And letting go. And you're ready. Free the arms. I want my hand free to grab that prop that's in between my knees. And then I'm slowly coming back to center. I'm going to realign my hips. Move your prop to the right. Go ahead and set up that right knee on top of it. Your second prop's going between the legs. As you swing that left leg over, make sure it gets situated in a way that it can hold its weight. And then again, interlace the hands behind the head. Left shoulder blade stays down. I want you to picture that bow and arrow that Durga holds in one hand. Remember, that symbolizes all types of energy. It symbolizes potential and kinetic energy. And I want you to internalize that as I am in control of my own energy. I am in control of the energy I expend. And I am in control of the energy that I choose to keep. And I say it that way, choose to keep, so as not allowing you to link that with being selfish. It's not selfish to hang on to your own energy. You also do not have to continue to give your energy to those people, places, situations, memories, emotions that don't utilize it well. Deep breath in. As you release the breath, free the hands. Grab that prop between the legs, set it aside. Slowly come back to center. Hug the knees in when you're ready. And then I'm going to let my arms slip inside of my knees. I'm reaching through to grab my feet. Take the knees wide so we're in a supine cobbler of sorts. Different variation of it, right? But try to let the legs push away from you rather than keeping the knees hugging in. I even like how strong the name Durga sounds, right? It just, that is a tough word. And it goes with this idea, the translation of it being a fortress of type, right? So when you need extra strength, I want you to remember that fortress symbolism. Maybe you see one building quickly around you. Maybe you see it building within you, relying on your Durga strength. All right, release the legs, send them out on the mat. Take the arms way overhead, big stretch. Hold the breath, hold the pose. Huge exhale when you're ready. Go ahead and set up your space for Shavasana. When you're ready to settle in, you've got all your props where you want them and you've closed your eyes. I want you to relax the muscles in the face. I want you to emulate that serene, calm look that Durga had as she was fending off the evil demon, knowing that she was doing so from a place of knowledge, righteousness, inner strength. And I want you to feel that and let go to your Shavasana experience. I will come back and get you. While Durga works to protect the world from evil, she's also recognized as the self within. And I just wanted that to be what you leave with today, that you have that Durga strength inside. Give me a deep inhale. Slow exhale. Invite some movement back into the hands and the feet. And then depending how your Shavasana is laid out, you could either hug the knees into the heart, or you could stretch out the legs, reach the arms way overhead. You could stay exactly as you are. And then slowly just roll to a side in a fetal position, keeping the eyes closed, embracing your strength. I want you to picture that lotus that Durga holds that is not yet in full bloom. Remember, symbolic of we're heading towards something. It's just it hasn't hit finality yet, right? We're working towards it. I want you to remember, if anything in your world right now is feeling murky, that the lotus flower always grows upwards towards the light. When you're ready, push your way back up. Deep inhale through the nose. Loud exhale through the mouth. Inhale, both arms up. Palms together. Exhale them home to your heart in Anjali Mudra. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.